Hey friends, how's it going? And welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite things about Seattle. You guys know that I've lived in Seattle for almost 5 years now. I moved here from Illinois, a super small town in Illinois, because my husband got a job out here, and I came out here kicking and screaming because I did not want to leave my family. I didn't want to leave my friends. I did not want to leave my job, but I ended up falling in love with the city. So here I am to share some of my favorite things that I love about Seattle. So just to kind of familiarize you guys with Seattle and where it is in the United States, Seattle is obviously located in the state of Washington, also known as the Pacific Northwest, or the PNW as you guys often hear me call it. It's not quite as far west as the Pacific Ocean. We're still about 3 to 4 hours from the Pacific Ocean, but it is surrounded by water. So the Puget Sound is an inlet of the Pacific Ocean. So you can see here that the Puget Sound kind of runs into the state of Washington and around Seattle. There are also quite a few lakes in and around Seattle, and just a lot of water in general in the state of Washington. Seattle is about 3 hours south of Vancouver, Canada, and about 3 hours north of Portland, if you guys have ever been there. So first things first, one of my favorite things about Seattle is the weather. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are like, she loves rain. And no, it's not the rain. I don't love the rain. As a matter of fact, Seattle actually isn't in the top 10 of the rainiest cities in the United States. It is, however, ranked in the top 10 of the cloudiest cities in the United States. A lot of cities along the Gulf actually get more rain than we do. So like Houston, Louisiana, Miami, a lot of Florida cities, they actually get more rain than we do, but we have more cloudy days than a lot of places do. But there are places that rank higher in number of cloudy days than Seattle. So Anchorage, Alaska, Portland, Oregon, and I've got my list here. Buffalo, New York, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Cleveland, Ohio are some of the cities that actually rank higher than Seattle as far as cloudy days go, which really surprised me. So Seattle has about 200 cloudy days per year, which that's a lot, but usually in the afternoon, if it's cloudy in the morning, it ends up clearing up and we have a beautiful afternoon. So what I do love about the weather is, first of all, summertime. Summertime is absolutely amazing. We'll go like a good 3 months without any rain, which can also have negative side effects such as wildfires. But as far as the actual weather here, people say that Seattle is the best place to be in the summertime. It's so gorgeous, it's sunny, it's mild weather, so it rarely gets above 80 to 85 degrees. As a matter of fact, August is the hottest month in Seattle, and the average high is around 77, and then December is the coldest month, and the average low and high, so the average low is 38, the average high is 47. So we have really mild temperatures. We don't get the extreme cold and extreme heat like a lot of places do, but we still get the 4 seasons. So fall is gorgeous out here, Spring's usually rainy, but it's not bad. We don't get a lot of snow, but if you want snow, you go to the mountains. And we don't get a lot of extreme heat, so if you want extreme like desert heat, you just go to Eastern Washington. All right, another thing that I love about Seattle is the geography of the area. So Seattle is surrounded by water and mountains. So we've got the Olympic Mountains to the west and the Cascade Mountains to the east. And then we're 3 hours from the ocean. So if you want to go to a beach, you can check out the coast. It's not necessarily a beach like you would get in like Southern California or Florida, but it's absolutely beautiful nonetheless. We also have some national parks. So we have the Olympic National Park and then Mount Rainier National Park. And you may not know, but there's actually a rainforest in the Olympic National Park, the Hoh Rainforest. So no, you don't have to travel to a different country to go to a rainforest. You can just come to Washington and visit your own rainforest here in the United States. All right, next up, something you guys know I love is coffee. So Seattle is regarded as a world center for coffee roasting, and there are coffee shops literally everywhere. That's one of the things I love about living in the city is I can go out and go for a walk and just walk into a random coffee shop, and there are so many coffee shops I don't think I could ever visit all of them, but I do plan to do a video that does kind of a tour of coffee shops in Seattle, so stay tuned for that. Some of my favorite coffee shops here are Storyville. Storyville is located down by Pike Place Market. It's so picturesque. If you want to get some Instagram photos, go there. It's the best place for Instagram photos. And then I also love Monorail Espresso. So Monorail Espresso has a few different locations. It's just a walk-up coffee spot. I love them. They're right down the street, and I try to go there as much as I can. Also, Starbucks did originate in Seattle, so you can visit the first Starbucks down by Pike Place Market, although I've read that it's actually not the first Starbucks, but you will see a long line of people out there on a daily basis just waiting to get a cup of joe from the first Starbucks that's not actually the first Starbucks. Okay, next up, I absolutely love living in the city because I love going out and doing all of the touristy things. I will just go out on a random day and check out Pike Place Market. Most of you guys, when you think of Seattle, besides thinking of rain, you think of Pike Place Market. Pike Place Market is actually one of the oldest and largest continually operating public markets in the United States. And it's huge. One of the big things Pike Place Market is known for is the flowers. So you can get really gorgeous bouquets of flowers there for pretty cheap, so like $15 to $20, and you can get a pretty outstanding bouquet. So you'll see people walking around the city with these big bouquets of flowers, and you know that they've been to Pike Place. You can also get a lot of seafood, fresh fruits and vegetables down at Pike Place. That's also the place where you'll see people throwing fish. So if you guys have ever heard about people throwing fish in Seattle, that's where you can check that out. Another touristy thing to do while you're here is visit the Space Needle. So you can go up in the Space Needle, and on a clear day, you'll have an absolutely gorgeous view. It's a super quick elevator ride up, and then you can stay up there as long as you want to. I highly recommend checking it out if you guys do plan to visit here, because you'll get some of the best views of the city from up there. Other places I recommend visiting, some of the parks in the area. So Gasworks Park overlooks Lake Union, and then there's the remnants of an old gasification plant there. So it's kind of rustic looking, kind of cool looking. You can also check out the houseboats out on Lake Union, and if you are here in the summertime, I highly recommend renting paddleboards and kayaks and going out on the water and just enjoying the city. It's a total vibe, and you guys know you can catch me out on Lake Union paddleboarding almost every day in the summertime. Kerry Park is another great place to check out if you're looking for a view of Seattle. And let's see, Green Lake. Green Lake is a great place to go. Even around the Space Needle, there are green areas. You can go just kind of picnic and just lay there and relax and just be outside and enjoy the weather. Discovery Park is another great place that you can check out. There are a lot of hiking trails, and you can actually hike down to a lighthouse that kind of overlooks the water, and then the Olympic Mountains are in the background, so I highly recommend checking that out as well. There are so many picturesque areas that you can go in the city and the surrounding areas, so make sure you check them out. Another place is Snoqualmie Falls. It's about 30 to 45 minutes outside of Seattle. You guys may recognize it from the show Twin Peaks. It's just this beautiful waterfall that doesn't even seem like it can be real, but it's just there in front of you, and it's so close to the city, but it feels like you're a million miles away from the city. Another place to check out while you're here in the city if you want some great views is the Great Wheel. It's the Ferris wheel. It was actually built fairly recently, so in 2012, and it will give you views of Elliott Bay and the city, and it's just another fabulous spot to get some views of the city. Going back to Lake Union, Lake Union is also super cool because there are seaplanes landing in the water while you're out there on the water paddleboarding and kayaking. So if you guys like water, make sure you head out to Lake Union if you guys make it out here. Then they also have hot tub boats. If it's colder outside, you can go out there in February and March and get on a hot tub boat, and you can see such a picturesque view of the city, and totally recommend it. You can check out the house from Sleepless in Seattle where Tom Hanks lived, and it's just a fun place to go and check out the sights and sounds of the city. Okay, I've got one more touristy thing that you need to do. You need to take the ferry from downtown Seattle to West Seattle. So as the ferry is going away from the city, you get the most beautiful view. I keep saying you can't get the most beautiful view, but there are so many beautiful views of the city, but this is another one. You need to check it out, I promise. Take the ferry from downtown Seattle to West Seattle. It's a 15-minute ferry ride. It's like maybe $6, so maybe $12 to $14 round trip. Just go over to West Seattle, hit up Salty's on Alki, get some seafood, and then just head back. You can even just go over to West Seattle and then just ride the ferry right back. That would be like a half-hour round trip type of thing, and you will love it. It's so worth it. You can sit inside if you don't want to be outside, or you can sit outside and get some fabulous views of the city. Okay, and last but not least, my favorite thing about Seattle is the surrounding hiking area. So I guess it's not necessarily my favorite thing about Seattle because it's around Seattle. So you can drive like 45 minutes to an hour and get some great hikes along I-90, or if you want to go further, you can head down to Mount Rainier National Park, get some freaking phenomenal views, or you can head up north, you can head up to Mount Baker, you can stop by Diablo Lake if you guys have the chance. Drive the 3 hours north. I know people think I'm crazy, but drive the 3 hours north to Diablo Lake. Yeah, you'll have to drive 3 hours back, but it's a 6-hour round trip that will be worth it. It's so beautiful, and I am the person that is willing to drive however far to see whatever. I also recommend, if you have time, going to Lake Chelan. Lake Chelan is in Eastern Washington. My daughter and I went there this past summer, and it was gorgeous. We rented jet skis on Lake Chelan, and it's like you're in another world. So I highly recommend doing that as well. Lake Chelan's like, I believe 2 to 3 hours away. I can't remember, but it was worth it. We literally drove there one day, rode jet skis all day, and drove right back. So there are so many things to do in and around the city. The Pacific Northwest is a place that I don't ever want to leave. If I ever have to leave, I will be so sad. So there you go. Just a few things that I absolutely love about living out here. I will be doing some more videos coming up soon. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video and hope you all have an absolutely fabulous week. Love you all. Bye.